Hi, everybody, and welcome to week one of 525's Innovations in Learning and Teaching. Tina and I had a conversation, and we decided we're going to trade off on weeks doing our weekly videos. So I'm going to take weeks 1, 3, and 5. Maybe we'll appear together, maybe we'll be separate, but we're each taking point on those. So I'll kick us off with week one. Our focus this week, our topic is innovations in education and starting to learn about the brain. So, if we were all together in a classroom, we would start out with some sort of centering activity, and we are going to keep that tradition even in our asynchronous virtual environment. Especially important as we are coming together from many different programs. So, it is quite possible that you have not been in a learning community with the people who are in this course yet. So, we're going to kick this off by inviting everyone to participate in a collaborative map. So, how do we do this? We're going to use Google Maps, and you'll see on our form here, you are invited to contribute to our collaborative map. So, if you click on the first link, it's going to take you to Google Maps. Now, it is set so that only people in our Concordia world can participate on our map. So, if like me, you're signed into multiple accounts, you're going to want to click on that and select a new Concordia account, and it will take you to our shared map. In order to add to our map, we would love for you to share with us somewhere that is special to you professionally. Maybe that's somewhere you're working right now or a favorite place that you've been. I'm going to focus on where I work right now in Minneapolis Public Schools. So I'm going to search for the address, and it is going to show on the map where that is. I can mouse over a little bit and I'll see the plus that will add a pin for us on ours. I can click the pencil to edit it, and I can take the address off if I want to. Hmm. And in the little side box, I can say technology integration specialist and save. Now, if you want to stop there, that's great. We're glad we can see where we are in the world. And I can also click where am I, and I can drag it down so I'm down with Tina because I see that Tina already put hers. So we can add in our list. So wherever you show up is just fine. Once you have that, if you would like to, you can click edit, and then you can click this little photo, and you can search for in Google Images. You can search for something that shows your school. See if I can quickly spot. I'm not spotting my building. All right, I'm going to quickly find my building. Hang on. We'll do a quick fast forward. All right. So if you find your image, I can click to open the image in a new tab. I will then have the link up at the top that I can copy. I can come back to our map, and I can add by image URL. So you can search for your picture, or you can search by link on the internet. Then you can add that in and click save. You can add any other details here that you'd like. I might want to add PK12. The other thing that you can do is when you click on the little icon, you can click the paint bucket that'll take you to the style, and you can change the color if you would like. And if you wanted to see all the different icons that are available, you can click to see more icons, and then you could say, you could search by school or whatever, and you can change it from being a pin to the people. So however much you'd like to add would be is up to you, but we would love to see as a group map everybody's name and where we are. And then eventually we will get our collaborative map going here. And we'll start to see like Tina here is in Rochester. She has her pin down there. And if we zoom out, we'll get to see my pin in the St. Paul metro area. There's my pin. And so hopefully, as we keep zooming out and you add your pins, we'll be able to see where we are in the United States or across the globe. All right. So we hope that everyone will participate, at least to drop their pin and where they are. Like I said, if you want to add a picture or not, or more details, that's up to you. But hopefully, everybody can add at least a pin of where they are and what we're doing. All right. Let's continue and do some housekeeping. So we hope that you've taken some time to already watch the welcome video that explains a little bit more about the course, and you get to meet Tina and me and a couple other just interesting details we hope that you find helpful to learn about our course. You'll also see in this first in our course materials, so the video is there, you'll also see this is where our syllabus lives. Each week we'll update our prayer. We have a get to know you form that's important for us. The sooner you fill that out, the better, because we'll be creating learning teams based on your responses there. And then we also have our 72-hour engagement graduate outcomes assessment. So if you could please complete those, that would be fantastic. And that graduate self assessment, that's for the first 72 hours of the course. When you're looking through the syllabus, please check out part 3. That is your calendar at a glance. And you could print that out, put it on your calendar, whatever works for you, and we'll go from there. A quick note about discussion board responses. For our course, we really want to emulate being together. And if we were all together, one would not be saying, and here's the APA citation of the article that I'm referencing. We would say, hey, do you remember that article that Johnson wrote about mind brain education or whatever? And then we'd all look at it. So, what we would really like to encourage is when you're posting on discussion boards, please, number one, make them meaningful, but number two, hyperlink to the resources that you're referencing or that support your positions. And that way people will be able to click on them and reference them a little bit faster. A final piece of housekeeping is if you have questions along the way, please either fill them out and add them to our weekly video check-ins, and that's part of the participation, and or you can email them to Tina and me. And like we mentioned in the welcome video, please send emails to both of us so that we can make sure that you get a response as quickly as possible. For this week, the first thing we invite you to do also is to have a fun community builder, and that is to create your own avatar and add it to My Courses if you have not yet done so. It starts out everybody's a shadow, and it's fun to see everyone's personalities come together and get to know people. So once you follow those directions that are there on our slides, you can add your picture of your choice up in the corner, and it will show up on discussion boards and all those different things and help us get to know each other. We also have a series of weekly readings. We have 3 discussion board posts. Oh, a note about the weekly readings. Sometimes the lists are very long. It is designed that way because we all have different interests or different levels of experience with the content. So you can choose, oftentimes it'll say, pick one of these or pick 2 of these. And so please read the directions at the top. If you see a long list, don't think, oh my gosh, I have to read everything on the list. Please look at what the directions say and follow them. If you have questions, let us know. For discussion boards this week, we have 3 posts. We only ask for initial responses. You don't have to reply to people this week. If you feel inspired to, you're welcome. But the one thing that we do want to point out, so 1.1 and 1.2, we can follow our regular discussion board calendars where your initial responses are due by Thursday. For 1.3, that is to create a mind map. And because that relies on a lot of the readings this week and designing things a slightly different way, we open that up and say anytime prior to the end of day Monday, those can be posted to the 1.3 discussion board thread. So we've seen for those mind maps, we have seen paper, we've seen digital, we've seen all sorts of different kind of mind maps. So we hope you have fun working on those and sharing your ideas and readings from the readings. Looking ahead, so in week 3, we have our first significant assignment due. That is the science of teaching and learning. You'll notice in the syllabus that talks about a lesson plan. What format that is depends upon your situation and your in your personal professional situation. If you're a classroom teacher, it doesn't have to be like when you went through like a social studies methods class or something and it had to be, pages and pages long. It needs to be enough detail that we understand where you're coming from, and then your plan. We do want to say we don't want to see people wait until week 3 to start because it does take a little while to put all of your learning into practice. So when you're on the syllabus, you can come over to the side, you can click assignment 1, and it will take you to that section. You'll see that that's due on Saturday, and then we have some participation that will follow that over the course of the next week. The other piece that's a little bit different is assignment 3. Technically, it's due in week 8. It is to be exploring AI in education, and you'll be completing. So if we come over to the syllabus here and we go down to assignment 3, again, this can also be done anytime that you would like. So there's a self-assessment of you and AI that will be completed first, and that is through a Google form. Once this form is completed, you will receive in your email a notes catcher, and then you will use that notes catcher, which is like an interactive notebook, basically a multimedia notebook, and you'll use that notebook to guide your exploration of these resources. And so it's just a slightly different setup for that, and wanted to let everybody know. With that, I think we have come to the end of our introduction. Thank you for participating, and we wish you blessings on your week. Thanks, everybody. Take care.